Hey folks, I'm H2 and you're on the F3 channel. Hey, thanks for joining me here. Hey, I've been thinking about something for a few days and I wanted to get on the channel and share it with you. And so I'm not sure what sparked this thought. Maybe it's the latest in the news of recent, but I was thinking about how people fall to temptation, and it kind of seems like the richer they are, or the more powerful they are, uh, the bigger the fall is. And so, as I was thinking about that particular thing, something came to mind, and what came to mind was the story of King David. And so, if you remember, uh, King David was the king of Israel, and so just happened to be reading over there in Second Samuel, and had to reread that story about him and Bathsheba. And so, if you're not familiar with that story, the story goes that it was the spring was the time of the year kings will take their armies off into battle. And so this one particular spring, David stayed behind while his army went out to fight. And so one of those evenings or one of those nights, he happened to be walking on the roof of his palace, and he oversaw a beautiful woman bathing. And so he went so far as to inquire who she was, had her summoned, and the story goes on to tell us that he slept with her, got her pregnant, and the story goes on. But what I want to talk to you about is temptation. And so, as I thought about that and thought about David's story, it just seems like, or the thing that jumped out at me was David had a Bathsheba moment. And so I want to throw the question out there to you is, have you ever had a Bathsheba moment? And I suspect that you probably have many Bathsheba moments, or for some of us, we're probably having Bathsheba moments each and every day. And again, I suspect the more money you have, or the greater your wealth is, and the more powerful you become, you are faced with Bathsheba moments more frequently and with greater intensity. And so I need to delineate the difference between a Bathsheba moment and a Bathsheba event. The Bathsheba moment is that particular junction in time whereby you find yourself in a situation such that you are tempted to do something that you know that is wrong. And so I think you can agree that you have been in a position like that, and you have a split second to decide whether you're going to do the right thing or whether you're going to give in to that temptation. And so there's nothing wrong with having a Bathsheba moment, meaning being in that particular or being at that particular juncture. But if you make the right decision, it was just a Bathsheba moment. If you make the wrong decision, then it becomes a Bathsheba event. And as we well know in David's story, a Bathsheba moment could lead to a Bathsheba event if you make the wrong decisions. And so for King David, his Bathsheba moment surrounded the relationship with a woman that was not his wife. And so you may be saying to yourself, H2, I ain't got no problems in that particular area. And while that might be true, it is possible that you have Bathsheba moments in some other areas of your life. It could be your things that related to your health. It could be things related to your happiness, or it could be things related to your finances. And so I just want to throw that out to you and ask you the question, how are you building your defenses against Bathsheba moments? So here it is, folks. This is your F3 millionaire tip number 17. I need you to identify those Bathsheba moments. And there's going to be 3 things that you're going to have to do in order to build your defenses against having, or build your defenses to be able to withstand those Bathsheba moments. And here they are. Tip number 1 is you need to be where you're supposed to be. In the case of David, he should have been out in the field with his army. Thereby, he would have not been in that particular position to be tempted by seeing Bathsheba. Tip number 2 is you need to keep a Nathan on speed dial. So who is Nathan? Nathan was the prophet that came to King David after the fact and called him out on what he had done. Tip number 3 is I need you to remain transparent. And so, as you well know, the drawback in being transparent is people being able to see your weaknesses. And so for most of us, we're not transparent, and thereby that's when we fall victim to Bathsheba moments. So if you think about those particular tips, I think you will agree that most of us are not, or we don't have the defenses built up strong enough in all the areas of our lives to be able to withstand a Bathsheba moment. I know personally for myself, just thinking about this, I got some work to do. So hopefully that'll help you, folks. This is H2, and I'm going to sign off.